So how would you say that that affected you witnessing all of the drugs and people using drugs around you as a young child?
I wouldn't say the people using drugs around me affected me because I wasn't privy to the effects of drug use since I was so young. What affected me more was the isolation that I got from the kids around me for being Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
Got
Like, I
you.
was accepted by some kids, but for the most part, I was like rejected because I was Spanish.
Because you were growing up in Mulford Gardens, right? And Mulford is mainly
Right.
black, right?
Yes,
And then so at
absolutely.
that
Shout out to
time,
Mocha.
yeah. So at that time, you're saying that because you know it's an interesting thing, right? Because like when you're growing up in New York, a lot of times people would say, "Oh, you know, the blacks in the Spanish state, they almost see each other as one and the same." But then you have other people that will say that there was tension there, though.
Yeah. I mean, oftentimes we got along, but oftentimes there was tension too. Like you hear like some black guys will be like, "Yo, fuck them Germans," like calling us Germans. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like a normal saying back in the days. They used to call us Germans. You know what I mean? And we'd be like, "Fuck them." You know what I mean? Like fuck them Morenos. You know what I mean? Like it is whatever. Like the niggas could get it too. Like whoever could get it. You know what I mean? But really fuck them too. You know what I mean? So it was oftentimes. Sometimes we got along. Sometimes we bumped heads. You know what I mean?
But you're like one of the few families in the projects at that time, right? That is Spanish.
Yeah.
So what is that like then, growing up surrounded by hip hop, surrounded by all black people pretty much, and feeling like an outcast?
It was a strange dynamic. So, you know, even though I had some of my friends that lived in the project that I hung out with all the time, and then I had kids in the project that I never got along with, and then you had two different groups. You had the guys that hung out in the corner by the store, and then you had everybody that hung out in front of my building. You know what I'm saying? All my cousins, uncles, we'd be mad deep in front of my building. So oftentimes I didn't have to stray far from the front of my building. Right here, there was a park right on the corner. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that hung out on the corner knew me. And, oh, shit, Danny, what up, little Danny, what up? You know what I mean? Before I was blamed, before I was this person who transformed into this other person. You know what I'm saying? So everybody knew who I was. They knew my uncle. They knew my older brother. Everybody was cool with me. And a lot of them guys that used to hang out on the corner of my block, I still know them to this day. They're like family. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be like them. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be fly. I wanted to have the Nikes. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to wear the Gore-Tex. I wanted to wear the Avirex. You know what I'm saying? I wanted my uncle come out in his drop-top Beamer, iceberg down to the socks. I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be a hustler like him. My uncle was a fly nigga. He had all the bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the baddest little mommies. You know what I'm saying? He had all the clothes. He had the jewelry. You know what I mean? The 17-inch rims when they first came out. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at that like he was my idol. And to this day, we like tighter than two knots. That's like he's like a father to me. You know what I mean?
You saw the respect that he was receiving and how nobody fucked with him too, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When I did my 10-year bid, when the feds came to get me, when I was on my bullshit, they really wanted him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were like, we know what's going on. We just, in order for us to get him, we need you. And that shit was never gonna happen. I won't tell him my worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? And every compound that I touched, I walk with my paperwork. I could walk anywhere with my chin up high, and my kids would be proud of the man I am. You know what I'm saying? I'll never gotta look over my shoulder. If a nigga do something to me, it's got a straight envy. You know what I'm saying?
So at what age did you start getting into graffiti, and what was the main inspiration behind that?
So when I was like 10, 11 years old, we moved from the project to South Yonkers. This is where I got into
mainly
graffiti,
Spanish.
Gang.
That was mainly Spanish there, right? So then I remember seeing that you said that was a culture shock for you because you were used to being around all black people.
Right. So
So what is like your immediate reaction? What is your immediate reaction when you're going through that?
Well, thus far, the only Spanish people that I was used to being around was my own family members. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when I get to South Yonkers, everybody's Spanish. So it was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? The tables turned. There was only like in the project, there's mad black people and just a few Spanish people besides my own family. But in the South Side, everybody's Spanish and just a few black people. You know what I'm saying? So everything kind of shifted. You know what I mean? So when I got, like I said, when I got to South Yonkers, that's when I already had that mentality, like I'm in a new place. You know what I'm saying? I get to meet new people. I got the opportunity to start new. You know what I mean? So now I'm already battle tested by this point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I want to be friends with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be cordial with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not about to be taken advantage of by nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really going to go down if somebody try me. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already been through all my shit in my project, you know what I'm saying? So now when I move to this new neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, I'm just navigating, finding my way, trying to figure out who's who, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out who's cool, who's dangerous, who I could chill with, who to stay away from, you know what I mean? Who's good money and who.
And you're only 11.
Yeah.
You're only 11 at this time?
Yeah.
Wow.
11, 12 years old. So mentally, I was above me. I was way beyond my years. I always hung out with niggas older than me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I always.
So they've been showing you the game already,
right? So I was always cautious on who to fuck with, who not to fuck with. Watching my uncle, you know what I'm saying? Watching my older brother, you know what I mean? Like watching their moves, you know what I'm saying? So basically emulating their moves, you know what I mean? Like be more on point, be hyper aware. So you know.
So then how do you end up getting into graffiti at this time?
Like I started making friends around the new neighborhood and this new neighborhood, you know, South Yonkers. And one day my man Meth came around. I can't even remember if he was on a bike or he was on foot. And we met and we just clicked. You know, when you're young, you just click with a nigga you cool with. You just meet him that same day. Like, oh shit! Right. And every day he's coming around. He lives right up the block from me. You know what I'm saying? So we're hanging out every day now, every single day. And I already was an artist, you know what I'm saying? I used to like draw like Marvel characters and shit like that. So I used to like drawing Marvel characters and sneakers. Like I would take one of my sneakers, put it on the table, and draw that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I used to like drawing shit like that. And once my man and my cousins used to do graffiti too. My cousin Poopy and Alex. They used to do graffiti. My brother Latito used to do graffiti. He's the one he actually used to write Blame. And then when I started getting serious about graffiti, like around 12 years old, I started writing Blame number 2. But then since my brother wasn't really taking graffiti serious, I took the 2 out and just became Blame 1. But it was through my man Meth that I really went hard with the graffiti.
So you found that you had like a natural talent for it already.
Yeah, hell
like
yeah.
Once you started doing graffiti, it just came natural and easy to you.
Absolutely.
And then I saw something that you were saying that like now that you're living in South Yonkers, people are looking at you weird when you're hanging out with black dudes. Right?
Yeah, like sometimes like some of the guys from Zulu Nation was black. So some of the niggas on my block was like, yo, why you hanging out with them soft Zulu niggas, you know what I mean? Like some of the, you know, older guys, some of the Latin kings that was in my neighborhood, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, what you talking about? Like, my niggas like, fuck you talking about? Like, I was used to always hanging out with black and Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? But them niggas had it in their mind, like, yo, why you chilling with the Morenos for? Like, why you fucking with them? You know what I mean?
Right, right.